Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm YouTube famous now. Can you guys believe it is like, oh my God, it is like the last hours of 2016. I just can't even, what a crazy year, okay? I have not even been on YouTube for a year yet. I started my BookTube channel May 11th of last year, 2016. So I have been on YouTube for all of 8 months, not even totally yet. And what a whirlwind adventure. I mean, like, what a total journey this has been, you guys. I have literally learned so much about myself in the last 8 months that I never expected when I started all this. I literally thought I would get on camera, talk about some books, maybe interact with some people, and that would be it. I never thought that I would learn as much as I did. And so today what I wanted to do was, I was going to do this whole video about like my year rewind and talk about old videos, and I thought that's so boring. I want to get on here and I want to talk about the 10 lessons that I've learned in the last year. I mean, I'm sure I've learned 50, 100, whatever, 1,000, but I wanted to talk about 10 specific things that I learned in the last 8 months from being on YouTube, because it's specifically about being on YouTube. Had I not been on YouTube, I don't think that I would have learned these lessons in my life. I really don't. Maybe I would have, but I don't think in the capacity that I learned them. And they're very, very powerful lessons. I hope that you guys will relate to them. I hope that they will in some way inspire you or motivate you to live your life differently. Even though you haven't had to go through some of the things that I have, or that you've gone through other things that I haven't, or that our journeys are all different. Like I've said before, the power of our stories is so important, okay? And you know, on my channel, The Wolf Pack, woof woof, we live with positivity, and we live with integrity, and we believe in telling our stories, and that our stories will change the world. My life on YouTube for the last 8 months has, okay, so do you ever like, it's been a little bit like this. Do you ever like drive around late at night with your friends, or have you ever driven around late at night with your friends, drinking fountain cokes, or, I don't know, doing whatever you guys do, and telling stories, and you just kind of turn left on this street, turn right on that street, and all of a sudden you realize you have no idea where you're at, and you're completely lost, and you don't really care because you're still having fun, but all of a sudden you realize, like, I don't really know if I know how to get home from here, and then you just keep on driving, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that looks familiar, oh, I know where I am, and then all of a sudden you are back home again, right? That's kind of what happened to me on YouTube. Like, I never was really ever... Like, I never looked at it as like, this is the most horrible thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. I had some wrong turns, trust me, okay? But all in all, the whole journey, looking at it as like this whole journey has been absolutely amazing, especially when I look at the learning experience that I had from them, from it. So I just want to get right into the lessons and talk to you guys about what these lessons meant to me and how I learned them. And the first one is that I believe that you should live a life with intention. And what I mean by that is that, you know, when I started my YouTube channels, I just believed that I would get on here and I would talk about some books, or I would like interact with some people, or talk about celebrities, or talk about other YouTubers, or whatever I was doing at that time. And I didn't really think about what I was putting out there in the world, what my voice was putting out there in the world, what my story was telling. And what I know today is that it's really, really important for me on a daily basis to wake up with a life of intention. And what I mean by that is that every day that I wake up, I need to think to myself, who do I want to be today? How do I want to live my life compassionately? Do I want to pay it forward? Do I want to be the kinder, better version of myself? Do I just want a lot of attention? What is it I want today, okay? And you have to decide for you what your intention is. It's different for everybody, okay? But for me, living a life with intention means being the better version of the best version of myself that I possibly can be. But I'm never going to be perfect, okay? So it's constantly a learning experience for me. I'm constantly growing and learning. That's life. Life, you know, life is a gift. That's life. And if we are open to remaining teachable, then those lessons will continue in our lives. But I think that we have to wake up on a daily basis and live a life with intention. Like, really think to ourselves, okay, who do I want to be today? Not just who do I want to be on this YouTube channel that the rest of the world will perceive me as, or who do I want to be on Twitter or Instagram or on Facebook or in the hallways at school or in the workplace, but who do I want to be, like, in life, okay? And then that should resonate from our being all the time. It should always be there, okay? The next lesson I learned is that it is sometimes easier to be cruel than it is to be nice. But the payoff is not as great, okay? And what I mean by that is that there has been times in my past on this channel, I've addressed this a lot, where I was poking fun at people, okay? And in retrospect, what I realized that it wasn't very nice. It was very, very easy to do, okay? It would be very, very easy for me to sit on here and make drama video after drama, gossip video after gossip, and listen, I've got it in me all day long. I have a quick wit. That's just the household that I was raised in. My dad's very sarcastic. It was the same way. But I think what I learned this year, having been on the receiving end of that, is it doesn't always feel good, okay? You know, that it hurts a lot. And reading the comment sections and reading what people really think about me and all that kind of stuff, and I have not been someone that's left those kind of comments. I'm not saying I'm better than that. I'm just saying I never have. It's really hard for me to put pen down to paper or type it down and really say some of the things that people have said. But being on the receiving end of that, what I realize is it's really easy for people to put cruelty out there in the world. It's a lot harder to be a nice person. But when you start putting nice day after nice day after nice day, although it's not as exciting, it's not as controversial, it's kind of boring sometimes, you wake up eventually and you realize, like, I have a peace of mind today. Like, I have a serenity with me that I don't have to live that bullshit anymore. I don't have to live that negativity, you know? And it's really, really refreshing. So the payoff for being nice is definitely greater than the payoff for being cruel. The third thing that I learned is never compare yourself to someone else. Karma doesn't always come true. And my journey is different than somebody else's journey. And what I mean by that is that I think in life, and this isn't just on YouTube, this is in life too, you know, that I have a lot of friends of mine that live in $1 million homes and cheat on their wives and, you know, are shady individuals, right? And I'm constantly like, why do they live in the million? I mean, it doesn't seem like they ever have a consequence for their actions, right? Well, their journey is different than mine. I don't know what they're supposed to learn here on earth. I don't know what their life is supposed to be about. I don't know what that's all supposed to mean for them, okay? And I'm not a believer that karma ever pays out. I don't believe that. When I talk about karmic energy, what I mean by that is that if I hang around with a lot of people that are negative, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be pretty negative. If I hang out with a lot of people that are positive, I'm going to be positive. So I want my tribe, my wolf pack, woof woof, around me to be positive. I want us to inspire each other, to motivate each other. I don't want us to worry about karma paying itself out at some point. I don't care about that. My journey is different than somebody else's. And I can't compare my journey to somebody else's. I just can't, you know? The next lesson that I learned, you see I have it up on my phone, is live your life apologetically. We're all going to mess up. Own your shit. Everyone deserves an apology. And I used to believe in living life unapologetically when I was young and I didn't understand how the real world pans out. And what I mean by this is that if you think about, I don't believe there's one person out there in the world, I don't believe there's one person watching my video right now that does not believe that somebody owes them an apology, okay? Imagine that person came to you sincerely, genuinely, and said, listen, I am sorry for what I did. I should never have treated you that way. It was not right. It will not happen again. And they meant it and they showed it in their behaviors. Can you imagine how that would drastically change your life? We've all been done over by somebody, okay? So I believe in living life apologetically. I believe in owning your shit, taking responsibility for your actions, and living life in a positive way, okay? Because we're all gonna mess up. We all mess up from time to time. It's not about going, no, I'm not gonna apologize. It's so much, just apologize. Just take responsibility and own your shit. It's so much easier. It really is. And like, this goes back to the nice thing. It's easier to be nice than it is to be cruel. Okay, so the next lesson is learn from your mistakes. When you know better, you do better. Okay, this has been a very profound learning experience for me this year. And what I believe is we all make mistakes in life, okay? Life is about remaining teachable. Life is in the lesson, okay? Life is not in the how many Louis Vuitton bags can you have, and how many trips do you take, and how much money do you have in your bank account, and all this versus that. That's not what life is about, okay? Life is about stepping back, and those things are wonderful, don't get me wrong, okay? Those things make our lives seem more glamorous, seem more beautiful, whatever. But in the reality of things, okay, life is really about the lessons. It's really about remaining teachable, and that we're going to make mistakes in life and learning from those mistakes and showing in our behaviors and our actions that we are changed people, okay? At the end of our lives or throughout our lives, we're going to have moments where we look back and go, wow, like, what was I thinking? What was I doing? Like, and owning that, learning from it, remaining teachable, and moving forward and being the best version of yourself you can possibly be. When you know better, you do better, okay? Number 6, people will not always understand your humor. Make sure you're laughing with them, not at them. And I am, you know, like somebody that, like I said, you know, my dad, and I was raised in a household where my dad was very sarcastic. I have a quick wit. It's really easy for me just to poke fun at people. There are, you know, like a lot of funny YouTubers out there that are the same way. Not until I was on the receiving end of that did I truly understand how it feels to be laughed at instead of laughed with, if that makes sense. And it really reminded me of growing up when I was the butt of a lot of people's jokes. And I've talked a lot on here about bullying. The bullying in my form, if you go back and you watch my bullying, is that people made me the butt of the joke. It wasn't so much being slammed into lockers and things like that, although that did happen. It was more that I was the joke, if that makes sense. And to this day, I don't like being the joke, okay? My claws come out. And so I think it's about me as I go forward being aware of that, trying to be a better person, and trying to make sure that I'm laughing with somebody instead of laughing at them. Because that can be painful, all right? And I remember years and years and years ago watching this Ellen DeGeneres stand up, and she was talking about how somebody said something and they go, oh, just joking, and she goes, yeah, but see, I'm not laughing. And I think that's the thing, is that when somebody says to you, just joking, if it doesn't seem funny to you, it's not funny, okay? We evaluate our own feelings on how we feel about what somebody else puts out there in the world about us. It's my life, not somebody else's, and I get to dictate and I get to determine my feelings, okay? Feelings are not facts, but they're very, very real. The next lesson, if I could open my phone, is everything we needed to learn, we learned before we ever got on the bus for kindergarten, okay? We learned to be kind, we learned to smile, we learned to treat others the way that we wanted to be treated, even when that's not convenient. We learned to help others with their dreams and never stand in their way. Allow jealousy and envy to inspire you to greater things, not direct hate towards the other person. Remember those lessons of innocence and remain naive and gullible. Innocence is beautiful. That childhood innocence that we had as kindergartners, getting on the school bus, being kind to somebody, hoping that other people would be kind to us, you know, turn the other cheek mentality, not living an eye for an eye, but living the golden rule, do unto others as those would do unto us. You know, all of those kinds of things, giving somebody a space on a school bus, all of those things, you know, sharing your umbrella, you know, if you're jealous of somebody, you know, letting that inspire you to be a better athlete, to be a better student, instead of directing your hate towards those. All those things we knew before we ever stepped on the school bus for kindergarten, but somehow we've forgotten them along the way. Our morals, our integrity, and our values are wonderful, wonderful things, but they're only valuable if we use them when they're inconvenient, okay? So if that means that I don't stick to my values and my morals because it's gonna cost me subscribers, or I don't stick to my morals or values because it's gonna cost me views, and those kinds of things, then I'm not really being true to my values and my morals, all right? And what happened over the course of the last couple months is that I got away from my morals and my values and my integrity. I'm not willing to do that anymore, okay? And I don't think anybody else should either. Number 8. Beware of people of the lie, but always believe in people's capacity for goodness and kindness. And what I mean by that is, there are truly people out there that are not good, okay? They are truly evil. It's been proven to me this year. And I believe that evil flourishes when good men do nothing. That's not my quote. I think that's Nietzsche's quote. And I think that you sometimes have to put a stop to it. And sometimes by putting a stop to that, that's by believing that, like Anne Frank said, that deep down inside, all people are good at heart. And I do truly believe that. I believe that there is goodness somewhere deep down. I struggle, you guys, and believe in it, but I believe somewhere down deep inside of everybody's heart, there is goodness. Number 9, always be willing to forgive. It is more a gift for you than it is for them. Hurt people hurt people. We all have done something we deserve forgiveness for. There is not one of us out there that has not done something or harmed somebody in some way that we want to make amends for or take responsibility for, that we deserve forgiveness for. Give others forgiveness the way that you would want forgiveness. It is a powerful, powerful gift, trust me. And number 10, live your life to the fullest. Life is short and life is precious. Life is a gift. There is nothing you can't get through. Things don't always get better, but they get different. And I promise you that there is always, always a silver lining at the end of it all. Trust me, trust me. Put one foot in front of the other and dance. I love you guys. I am so excited for 2017. We have so many things exciting planned on this channel. It's going to be a really, really good year. It's going to be motivational, inspirational, positive, hilarious. I got some hilarious stuff planned, and humor is a great thing when used appropriately. Follow me for my daily vlogs. That starts tomorrow. It's on my new vlogging channel, Peter Vlogs. It's listed below. I love you guys, and I hope you are having a wonderful end to 2016 and a wonderful beginning to 2017. I love you guys. We're the Wolf Pack. Woof, woof!